Folks, welcome to the CCL Vanguard Launch Championship Sunday. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Cruz. We're here to bring you day two to cap things off. It's going to be an insane time. It's my first time casting Vanguard. I know it's your time too, Cruz. How you feeling today?
I'm doing fantastic. Championship Sunday on a CCL Championship Sunday. First Vanguard cast of the year with the duo Seymour. I mean, you can't really complain about it.
Can't really complain about it at all. But speaking about the event, let's go take a look at our format, Cruz, because we have a lot to talk about and a lot to get through for the day. So why don't you run us through things on what we're going to see?
Yeah, so I mean, our format, our prize pool for the event, it's a $2,500 prize pool. First place is going to take $1,500. Second place takes home $700, and third place is going to take home $250. A very fine prize pool for any of our teams today.
Very fine indeed. Very fine indeed, Jesse. A lot to play for, but like I said, let's take a look over at that format and get a look at what we're going through in the day, what we've seen yesterday and today. Because as you all know, if you were tuning into the CCL yesterday, we got to see the Stage 1 series, best of threes, 7 Swiss matches. Everybody got games to play and a lot of games to play as well to lead into the day. Today in Sunday, we got 8 teams going into a double elimination bracket, and we're gonna be starting in the semifinals. Jesse, a lot of good teams. Why don't you run through the event?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of really good teams here throughout the weekend, but obviously only top 8 teams qualify for our Stage 2 bracket, which is a double elimination bracket, as you guys can see on the screen. And I mean, we've had some really good matchups. Obviously, all our winners round 1 matchups went through yesterday during the evening. And then just to kind of quickly run through our matches that happened on stream yesterday, or the matches that one happened on stream and didn't happen on stream as well in that winners round 1. Braves Esports took out Concord Maroon. It was a 3-0 victory for them. Texas State Esports, they 3-0 NJIT. SEU Blue, they took a 3-1 victory over Eagles COD. And then, of course, ASU Maroon, they come away in a Game 5 victory over GCU Black. So down to 4 teams left in our championship bracket up in the winners side of the things. But, I mean, there's still a lot to play for down to the losers bracket.
Well, there's still so much to talk about. There's so much to play for as well. We saw the pricing, we saw the format. Let's talk about the teams that we have right now, because we're going to be starting off in the semifinals. So we're going to be looking at SEU Blue versus ASU Maroon right now in our semifinal matchup on stream for the Alpha right now. And on the opposite side of the bracket, we have Braves versus Texas State. So 2 big hitters right now on this side of the bracket in the winners bracket to look for that winners final side of things. I mean, if you're looking at one side, I mean, you know that all confidence to the Braves on that side. I mean, Texas State, they're looking good, but you have to look at Ottawa and just understand the pure dominance that they showed last year that they're looking to bring in this year. And I mean, you know what my money's going to be on, Cruz. It's going to be that Ottawa team keeping that legacy going into the CCL. But why don't you talk a little bit of what we got right now between ASU Maroon and SEU Blue?
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams looked really, really good yesterday through the Swiss format, through winners round 1. They both finished off 6-1 through the Swiss format. I mean, and to get here, like I was kind of breaking down before, GSU Blue, St. Edward's Blue, they took out GSU in the first round, and they actually took all 3 hard points on that series, only dropping the Search and Destroy 6-4, but the hard point game for them, it looks on point. It was a 250-104 win, 250-55, and a 250-109 win. Like, you really can't get more dominant hard point victories than that. Relic and Thresh, they look very, very dominant in this game for SEU Blue, and this team, they look like they are going to be kind of like what we saw in some of the earlier tournaments in our Summer 8s and like the EFU Summer Open. A lot of those tournaments, we got to see this SEU Blue team for the first time, and they have certainly come to play this year. And then on the other side, obviously, Arizona State University. Fishity, no question, no surprise that he's back on the roster. He's been a top player in CCL for multiple years now. He is a very, very talented player. They won their round 1 matchup against GCU Black. It was a 3-2 victory. They came away with the win in the final Search and Destroy 6-2. But the big thing for this team is they lost their BAP 1 hard point. It was such a close game. It was by milliseconds. They didn't get the final tick. They lose 249-250. Super close game. So what are we really going to see from these 2 teams? One team, it looks like they were very dominant in hard point. The other team very dominant in search and destroy. That age-old question, which will come out and prevail today?
It's a new season of CCL, so a lot of new teams getting to field their rosters for the first time right now inside Vanguard, inside the CCL Vanguard Open. And of course, I mean, this SEU team, I mean, you said it yourself, it's like Pally just picked apart a super team and put them all together. I can't wait to see them play. And same with ASU Maroon. I mean, we see Fishity in the Cold War style, just finishing off in our playoffs over in NACE. And I mean, he's constantly been running that FFAR, and I have no doubt in my mind that I'm about to see him swap from the FFAR to the automation like it's nothing. It's just like you buff the FFAR to have no recoil, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, it's literally probably similar in terms of how fast the gun shoots, but like you said, literally no recoil on that gun. And definitely, I would not be surprised if we see that gun get GA'd at some point this year. But right now, it's way too early in the season for anything to be getting GA'd. Everything will start, kind of falling into place eventually. The pros are out there. They don't like to have certain guns in the system, and usually it seems to be that flex gun, that do-it-all gun that seems to end up getting GA'd quite often.
Well, enough chit-chat, Jesse, about this. It's time to get down and dirty with our two teams right now to talk about the matchup that we do have, because as we said, the double elimination bracket, it is a best-of-5 series. So why don't we go take a look at the maps that we do have between these two teams, because they have quite the interesting setup indeed. Starting off with a Bocage hardpoint, as both teams did agree to start on that one. And then moving over to Demyansk, Search and Destroy. A third one going to be inside that Tuscan hardpoint as well. But I have to say, those first three maps, they look good. But that Bocage hardpoint especially, why don't you break it down for me? What are we looking at in that one?
Well, I mean, Bocage hardpoint, and we were talking about this in the green room before, but that hard point is probably one of the fastest paid hard points I have ever seen. I like to kind of quote it back to Stronghold from, or not Stronghold, what map? From Crossroads from the last game in Cold War. It's very similar to that map and how fast this map can play out, and the fact that we're going to get a lot of submachine gun play throughout the game. But really, though, the big thing between this and the big difference between Crossroads and between this map and Bocage is the fact that we get no really big money hills. This because of how easily spawns are broken through Vanguard, and nobody really able to hold on to spawns properly so far throughout the game. It hasn't really been figured out yet. So maybe throughout the game we might start to see some money hills pop up on this map, but right now, with how crazy it is and how crazy spawns are, we're just not really going to get any.
Well, obviously you guys just saw that was not supposed to happen. The game lobby closed. We're going to be trying to get things back in order for Bocage. Map number 1, you're looking at SEU Blue and Arizona State University Maroon to go head-to-head here in game 1. Stay tuned. We're going to head to a break, and we'll be right back with this hardpoint. Welcome back. Apologies for the break, but we're in it. Bocage hardpoint, map number 1, ASU Maroon, SEU Blue. Jesse, break this down. What are we looking at? Who's got the better spawns? Who's got the worst ones? What do you want to see off the break off?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's really better and worse spawns here on this P1 hill. I mean, definitely ASU Maroon are on a side of the map where you can hop in towards this first hill. There's a little gate that you can kind of hide behind, gain some time on it. But really, besides that, there's really not a lot of time that can be found on this first hill. It's usually just a big slugfest, and both teams just jarring for position on the map, because the second hill, it will be spawning up towards that second top left-hand side of the map, towards those tanks that you can see there.
Obviously, I mean, we know it. We've seen it enough already. You're expecting high interactions here on Bocage. You see SEU Blue going to try to pull these spawns away, but it's 3 down again, trying to siege out these spawns. It's going to be 4 now that Relk is going to drop, so ASU Maroon hopping into that courtyard hardpoint is going to walk away with with more points going into the second hill. Already on rotation too, and slaying out like it is their job right now. Heavily favoring them now, looking to carry this one away. And Peanut point 2 number are going to be in over down in the tanks. SC Blue struggling to get themselves around.
Yeah, we're seeing a really good job right now at ASU Maroon as well. Just kind of zoning out this hardpoint, not really letting any of the SEU Blue players get really anywhere close to this hill. And Fishity on these tanks is just putting in work. On 5 in a row, he'll find that glide bomb for himself as well. So a fantastic start right here. He might even be able to find more as he finds the second streak. Does finally fall to a gammon bomb, but can't really complain about the start of that round.
And the rest of them, you look at Effectini slaying out on that MP40 over in Zigzag, watching the push through. How's Crook's going to find him on the outside? And the race is on now. You can see SEU Blue setting up for this house hardpoint, trying to pull these spawns. Is ASU in the back sprack? Going to be that player lurking on out in with that MP40 roll. The SMG just trying to stay here and set up for his team.
And yeah, SEU blue. They should be this first team here, but like you said, Sprack in the back, he might be able to influence these spawns if he finds a couple of kills, but classic Vanguard spawns coming through right now, and he won't be able to influence them from the very back. So with his team, he's just going to try to push towards the front now, try to reinforce from the front. And actually, if they can keep SEU blue spawning on that left-hand side, they can kind of just sit inside this hill and keep trying to pick these players off as they come through these tight corridors.
Coming around the flank, Sprack finds two. Ralk's finally going to get his toes into the mix. 30 seconds on this hard point as SEU blue trying to soak up as much as you can, but you got for the contest. It's Fishity with that automation, going 1-for-1 on the back of Gravity. Funny splits this hill open, but look at this. You're talking about how ASU Maroon, they had SEU blue inside the spawns that they wanted, but now it's flipped. SEU blue are going to set up for this hill 4.
Yeah, and this is where, if you don't get a lot of time on Hill 3, you really need to make sure you lock down time on Hill 4. It's very similar to kind of the Moscow hardpoint in our last game in Cold War, where you don't want to find yourselves down 100 seconds once you're done these two hills. Otherwise, this is when the game can really get scary, can kind of get blown open for your team. And you can already see ASU Maroon, they're putting a fantastic foot forward in terms of trying to break back into this hill and trying to break in towards this new one. But both teams, they're not going down without a fight, getting some very interesting spawns coming in right now.
Crook has some help. That's 4 down now for ASU Maroon. They're going to set up to soak up this time. Still 35 seconds, and ASU looking to lead the charge. Effectini around the side. Sprack and Gravity are going to find 2. Here comes the break. Fishity, Sprack, the whole team gets into the mix, and it's an easy break back into it. Still holding off on these spawns, though, as SEU Blue can reinforce the site once again from the front of the hill. Look at that, she's going to be through. Crook breaks it open. Sprack's going to drop in. Once again, the hill is going to flip over to their side. Crook, if he can walk away with Fishity, that'd be the scrap time. But another break is going to be through as ASU Maroon are going to open this one up. 113-51 heading into a river hardpoint.
That spawn out works out really well for SEU Blue because now they can push across the map. They can get set up inside of this new hill. But actually, ASU Maroon, they'll get the flip immediately back. So they get back control of those right-hand spawns. And this is a hill where you are going to see a lot of streaks get invested in. If your team has streaks, this is probably the best hill to use it on. There's so much open cover down here in the river. Teams can just continuously rain streaks down from the sky and really, really help your team secure a good amount of time here.
Still spreading out around this one. Fishity deep into the back line is going to find Thrash. Eons is able to make some presence down into that tunnel, but finally going to be snuffed out. It's Sprack to shut him down. 3 players inside this hill now setting up for the retake. This Fishy's going to be taking the route outside. Most likely going to be looking to take some of these players down as they flood on into the hill, but already the break is going to be through. Fishy has to step onto this hardpoint for the last remaining scrap time. A big lead heading into the second set of rotations. Jesse, ASU Maroon are in full control of Bocage.
Yeah, so great first half of the game for the likes of ASU Maroon. Almost, double the score of SEU, maybe even a little bit more than that, and just really off to a great start here. Not very much that SEU can even really do. They're getting outslayed so badly on this map at the moment. I mean, a couple of the players kind of keeping it even, but it's really Kruk right now. He needs to pick it up if they want to be able to start bringing themselves back into this game.
Well, they find 5 in a row. This is going to be some good time their way. We're going to close the distance inside this difference. As Thrash around the streets has his back turned right now to ASU Maroon, but it's finding the right route. FXTD around his crosshairs goes for a second, but Sprack ready for the challenge is going to double down with himself. As that's ASU Maroon now looking to flip these spawns, holding on to the rotation into tanks. If they get Relic up top inside this barn, it is going to be the confirmation of this rotation. Relic, so standing his own, is on 5 in a row, is going to get that glide bomb inside his arsenal. Now the secondary streak as well behind him. The strafe run is earned. Can he find a 7 in a row? Effectini on the other side, but he's just going to value his life. Make sure he still has a presence out here so that ASU Maroon can't flip them out.
And you can tell the main focus right now for SEU Blue is they do not want to allow ASU to get comfortable on this hill again. The last time we saw this hill pop, it was a full 60 for ASU Maroon. They pretty much got to sit in this hill, control the spawns for the entire time being. But this time through, you're going to see the difference come. Relic's going to use that glide bomb. He'll actually find 2 with it as well. But the spawn out comes through. One of their players spawns very deep out at the next hard point. And so this might actually be able to set up a good pinch for them, but still just not where they want to be spawning at the moment. You want your players spawning up at the back.
It's a toss-up, still time to play for. 156-99, Fishity round the outside. He finds 1, looks for the second, gonna lock it down onto Crook. Playing for his life on an island, finally gonna drop. That's Relk shutting him down, and still time not in the hands of SEU for the remaining 3. Make it 4 down as finally they're able to hop onto this hill and start collecting the time.
And Relic's still on a 6 spree here, so continuing just on this hot streak that he's been on since the start of this game. 23 and 15, really starting to pick it up now. And SEU Blue, would you look at that, starting to bring their way right back into this game. The new hard point will pop, and it should actually be SEU Blue to be the first team to hop inside the hill, as player number 5 is super close.
Over in the hedge growth. Maroon trying to lock things down. 2 go down for SEU Blue. Thresh still holding his own. That's 3 in a row. Pivoting around this one doorway. Still hasn't get into the side. Finally, the contention. Sprack laying in the corner. Has a little bit of help. And the cook and the nade. Damage onto Sprack. Could actually find him. Another 3 down for Maroon. And that is going to flip these spawns on out. SEU Blue still, though, not collecting this time just yet. They're going to get into the hill. They're going to lock things down for now. Maroon heavy on their tail. You're going to see a recontestation immediately outside this, but some good time going their way now. Only a 40-point lead, and they can knock this down to 30, maybe even 20.
It really felt like an individual break there from Thresh as well inside of this hill. He finds 3 kills in succession and then works with his teammates to find the 4th and 5th inside of the new hill. So, I mean, you can't really complain about what you're getting out of Team Captain right now, and Thresh playing absolutely unreal right now for SEU Blue. But the rotations are in, going over towards our next hill, towards that barn hill, and it's going to be ASU Maroon who are the first team here set up.
I love how gung-ho these shrieks are for either team, not allowing this to be a comfortable setup. Crook's going to lead the way, spearheading the push for his team. However, Gravity steps up to the plate. He is going to find a big 2-piece. Can Sprack close it out? He can. So the break back in for Maroon. They're going to lead their success to the next level and continue to slay out around this hard point. But for now, Sprack good enough to hold off on this time. 38 seconds in the objective so far, but we're going to pick that up. SEU Blue, 4 down, off map, and the break, it's going to be immediate.
And here's the struggle with the break, though. Even though you get the break into this with a 4 down, the rest of the ASU Maroon players, they still spawn up very close to this hill, so they can just reinforce right back in immediately in the break, right back over towards the likes of ASU Maroon. They will break that 200-point mark, only needing 50 points left to close this game out as we head over towards our River Hill.
207 to 146, a 60-point lead right now for Maroon, and for a map with Bokash's pacing, you know that is absolutely nothing for either of these sides. Eon's still with that glide bomb, but inside the hill, you're not going to see him use it. In fact, here come the artillery out of the opposite side. Sprack's going to find 2. The Drake finds nothing. Here comes the Shrake front as well. Fishity finds himself with it. Still the break from ASU Maroon, but it takes a lot out of them just to get it going.
And that's the issue with the straight front and the bombing run sometimes, is you can just end up finding yourself with those streaks. It's such high risk versus high reward sometimes, but that time the risk, it's just a little bit more. Fishity will get inside of the hill, though, after coming off spawn, after killing himself with his own streak, but nonetheless, ASU Maroon, they're going to start to try to build this lead back up a little bit more and more, but Kruk from the top, he should be able to find this hill. It is so hard to get any time on this river hill because of so many different angles that you can attack from.
Friendly fire will not be tolerated, sir. You thought Eons is going to have the break with Crook, but Relk's nade says otherwise. 220 now, heading into this courtyard hardpoint for the 3rd set of rotations. Now Fishty hops up. The automation with the help of Victini deletes Crook right off of his screen. Now, a lot of time to be gained, and with the slaying potential of ASU Maroon, you imagine that these guns are going to turn up. Here comes the Eons with the glide bomb. Clears it out. Thresh is going to clean up these players as they pour on into him. SU Blue, they get the break for now, but right again, Maroon, they step back into it like it was nothing, Jesse, and this is starting to get dangerous.
It really is, but that 4 down helps a lot for the likes of SEU. They can get back in towards this hill. This game is definitely not over yet. And if you're ASU at this point, I think you're just going to try to put your full focus on trying to hold down the second hill, that tanks hill that we're going to be going back to after this hill. And I think if you're SEU Blue right now, you need to try to get as much time as you can on this one. You don't want to be allowing Arizona State to be getting close enough to being able to win this game, and it's exactly what they're doing. They will get the remainder of the time here on this old hill. And now rotated over towards this new hill. Gravity in the back is going to be a main point of focus. They need to get him out of here.
That's 4 down. 9 seconds left. They have tanks on lock. Look how far SEU Blue are spawning. Only 6 seconds to put this away. Affectini on the front line. Fishity to help him out. One last chance with the strafing run, but it doesn't find enough, so it's going to be up to Thresh. Keeping his toes inside of this. He's going to fall, and so does his team. ASU Maroon, they're walking away with Bokaj.
That's a big map 1 victory as well, because yesterday when we saw St. Edward's University at their best, they won all 3 hard points in their first best of 5 yesterday. So we expect this team to be an extremely good hard point team coming into this one. Not the case though in this map number 1. I mean, they kept it close. It's not like they played necessarily bad, but you need a lot more out of Kruk going 14 and 40. Just not where you want one of your main players to be playing at in that map number 1. And you got to think with how good Arizona State University's search and destroy look yesterday, you got to think that this is a scary sight now for SEU dropping to the first hard point.
Well, in a best of 5, you know, you're out of that Swiss bracket, you're away from the best of 3, so maybe those first maps, they don't hold as much weight over for you. But even still, that search and destroy, it's not going to be something you want to drop, like you say. And if you're SEU Blue, this is where you want to bounce back. Now, I know there's a lot of leadership on this team. You pulled together Crook and you pulled together Ralph, 2 CCL captains from the previous year, now on top of each other. I need to see this leadership come out from SEU to rally the troops, to get things going and pick it up in this map too, because ASU Maroon, especially in the semifinals team, when they start getting going, they are not going to stop Jesse. But before we get into this map number 2, we're going to head to a break and get set up for the search. So don't go anywhere. Demyansk over the horizon. Welcome back, chat. Did you miss us? I know I missed you. Well, I also missed the game and the series that we do have, because ASU Maroon, they showed up on Bokash and they took over. Now, not to mention SEU Blue, they started picking up the pace a little bit through that. Bokash started to get a little bit close halfway through the second, but going into the third, you saw the slaying potential of ASU Maroon, Jesse, and you just saw how much they can really blow open the window of an opportunity when it does come to a hard point. But we're moving past that. We're moving to the search and destroy. So I want to hear a little bit from you. What do you want to see going into this map number 2?
So I'm honestly a little bit worried for SEU now coming into this one. Looking at their last series that they played in round number 1 and just kind of going overall, I think that's the best place that you can kind of look back at past maps. Yes, the Swiss format is great and all, but I think once you hit this top 8 bracket and you're really going up against the top competition, that's kind of the best like spot to see where these teams are really standing on each other right now. And when I'm looking at this SEU team right now and just seeing the fact that they went into their last series, they took all 3 hard points. They lost the search and destroy 6-4. Yes, not a terrible loss in search and destroy, but not a loss that you really necessarily want harping on you. Now looking at this ASU Maroon team, they come out, they barely lose 1 hard point. They barely lose the second hard point. They win their third one, and then they destroyed in both their search and destroys. That's a scary thought for me now as looking at SEU. Hopefully, they're not playing one of the same maps that they played yesterday for the search and destroy here today, and they can come out and they can play better in either Demyansk or in Bokaj if we end up going the full distance. But it's just kind of a scary thought. And when you're looking at the likes of the players on this team right now, Kruk, that was just not a performance that you expect out of him. He was, 15 and almost 40 in that first game. You really, really expect him to kind of be up on another level. And like you were saying going into this one as well, that player was a captain on his team from last year. You would really expect for Kruk to kind of be stepping up his game and kind of, if you're not going to put out those big slaying numbers, I really think he needs to step up in terms of a leadership role and maybe an objective role here in the search and destroy.
I couldn't agree more. But when you're looking at search and destroy in Vanguard, something kind of catches my eye a lot when I'm watching it. And something is always interesting when hopping into a new game is how this game is going to play rather than the last one. And I saw a lot towards the end of my Cold War is how much team coordination can we get from this one. However, we saw yesterday in the Braves game is that individual skill, it's going to shine. So, you know, SEU Blue, they have the players to do so. Let's see them step up to the plate and even this up. We're into Demyansk search. We're into round 1. ASU Maroon on the offense.
Already right down onto this little lake underneath, right by the bridge, and they're just kind of playing for information there, and it looks like they're going to want to hit towards this A-bomb site. There are a lot of players from SEU inside the hill right now, but if Effectini, he will get inside. This bomb's going to go down for free as well. Nobody watching it, so definitely not a bad situation here.
But they lose gravity in the meantime. So the bomb gets planted. Time against them, losing players left, right, and center. A 2v4 now for ASU Maroon to claw themselves back into this round 1. If you look at the minimap, closing in is going to be the Eons around the corner. It's going to be free kill for Actini. Sprack pulls it back, evens us up into 2v2. Sprack finds 2 on site, so now flipped on a dime. Thresh in a 1v2. Looking to break back into the church and an STG in hand, not the weapon of choice when you are getting into these close quarters. FD's going to find it. Shots are good, but rounding the corner is ASU, and they're going to close out in the 1v1. A big round for ASU. Got a little bit dicey, but they clawed it back.
I really like how ASU played that as well. Not only did they get the bomb down, but everybody who, after they got the bomb down, push out of the church. So they were all in kind of different off-angle, powerful positions where the SAU players weren't really the SEU players weren't really expecting them to be in some of those corners or some of those spots off site, and it just made checking the bomb and being able to push back into the site that much easier for themselves and really be able to solidify there with that round number 1. Now heading into SEU's offense, it looks like a very different hit than what we saw to ASU Maroon in that first round. It's going to be the bomb heading over towards this B site, towards that bridge.
Fishity.
And Fishity's already on a huge flank here.
Hook, line, and sinker. That's a first blood. Oh my god, how are you getting away with this, Fishity? No way, Jose! That's 2 in a row. Looking for a third around the corner. He's finally shut down, but the damage is done. A 2v2 at the end of it. As that is something that you just cannot let happen.
That is trigger discipline and a half right there. I mean, I would have been shooting like 30 seconds before then. I can't believe he held that for that long. Finds a 2-piece. Unfortunately for him, though, his teammates will get 2-pieced on the other side. So now not in the greatest spot, back into a 2 versus 2. And Relic with this bomb, he still can make this bomb really over towards either site right now. It's a 50-50 towards which one he goes towards.
I would have assassinated the guy, but apparently I'm toxic.
I mean, if you assassinated him, he probably gets caught there. So
he probably gets caught.
Probably the better situation not to go for the assassination that time through.
100%. Bomb's going down. Gravity has eyes on it, and Relk last second he's able to get away with 71 HP now.
And he went down.
Yeah, look at this. 71 or back to 100. You got the crossfire set up. Look how far Thresh is out of this. Going to catch the Gravity on the rotation underneath the bridge. And here comes Sprack on the inside. Makes it a 1v1. STG versus the recovered STG. And on top of that, Sprack playing for the glide bomb. But look how far away Thresh is. He's got eyes on this. Not sure if Sprack will be able to stretch this one. And no, he's going to have to take the fight. 12 seconds left, and Thresh is playing this fantastic. He's got eyes on from so far away. Sprack's just going to play for the streak. The shots are back and forth, but you can see neither one wants it. Finally, Thresh is going to give it to him. 5 kills in a row. That's Glide Bomb earned, but round to SEU.
That is such an unbelievable line of sight as well. Pushing out towards where that P1 hard point normally is. Just sitting on, just overall, right by where that whole river goes down, that frozen river. And he just has such a beautiful line of sight on where his teammate planted that bomb. And if you can get an AR, let alone an STG in that position, I mean, it is going to be very tough to be able to get that player out of that spot. And he uses it to full perfection there.
Well, ASU Maroon going back to the basics with their fast attack into the lake, looking to cross on over through this bridge. But look at player number 6, Thresh, making the heads-up play just like Fishy last time and already in enemy territory. However, ASU Maroon not giving away for free. Sprack goes down from Eons, laying down on this site. Here comes the pinch. Thresh finds a second. Excellent nade and the follow-up. Effectini last alive in a 1v4 against SEU Blue. What are we going to get to see from this bomb carrier?
And unfortunately ends up falling there. But I was going to say, I feel like 1v4s aren't as impossible right now inside of Cold War either. Just because, and I think we saw one yesterday inside the winners round 1 matchup as well. I can't exactly remember who it was that did it in that
Pretty
first
sure it was
matchup.
Fame.
It was Fame. You're 100% right. But I feel like they're a little bit more possible right now, not only because we're playing with 50 less health this year when you go down to 100 health from the 150 from the year before, but also just simply because there's so much more finesse in this game right now in terms of the movement and where you can really set yourself up. And the fact that the game is so early that you just really don't expect to have players always in certain positions at the moment.
Well, as proper stated yesterday, what Fame did yesterday was illegal. Here, in the semifinals, we only do legal things right now. And at 1v4, it did get shut down. However, into the next round, round number 4, already an early trade. Fishity almost getting caught out in no man's land, but wraps all the way down to the river. And SU Blue, Sprack might have just got perfect timing, lines them both up. That's bomb down. Excellent play out of your SMG, and he's going to get out in dodge. Play for his AR. Fishity locks it down. 3 rounds for ASU.
Sprack has been very clutch here so far, and that's going to tie us up at 2-2 here at the end of our 4th round. And I mean, you really can't ask for much more out of Sprack. I think he's, fallen one time in 4 rounds here. He's got 7 on the board, and I believe he also has that glide bomb as well if he chooses to invest it at some point. And that glide bomb, I feel like, could be very effective here on this map, whether you can get that bomb down and put yourself not only in that powerful position down in the river, but also if you can get that bomb down, you can always just use your glide bomb and hide inside a building if you want to use that to protect the bomb as well. And definitely can be very, very helpful for your team.
ASU pulling player number 3, Gravity, out all the way here. Here's
comes
that glide bomb that he talks about. Wonder where it's going to land. Fishy just heading to the ropes and trusting Affectini to get his trade.
Wow.
Eon's going to fall. Bomb's going to go down at B. And that's going to be time now against SEU for the retake. All players on the front line. Affectini's going to be here to find the second. A third from Gravity. 1 player left is Ralk. And he's going to get spotted out. ASU Maroon are starting to run away with Demyansk. And they are making it fashionable.
I will say I love that play with the glide bomb too, just to use to open up the site. But Affectini there, I cannot believe the confidence that his teammate had in him. Just to run past the player with his knife out, just knowing that Affectini was there to get the kill. That is some teamwork and some trust right there to be able to do it. Maybe not the smartest play in the world either to not just take the gunfight as well. But nonetheless, they do get across, they get the bomb down, and because the glide bomb was on its way down, it just gave a perfect cover for planting that bomb as well. Now, if you're looking at SEU, they're going to take this bomb over once again and just play very slowly down this B lane. And this time through, though, Fishy not going to be getting super aggressive here on the defense.
No.
He'll actually fall first as the only player sitting really on this B side. So this should be a free plant now for SEU.
Oh. Kobe!
What a nade!
Affectini lined that up and shut it down. I wish we got a replay on that. That was insane.
Man, wait, we might just... Oh,
man, no,
it was going to show it first. The final kill cams, they just aren't long enough in this game yet. But I mean, oh man, I saw that happening too. As I said that they might get a free plant here. I saw him cooking the nade, and I'm like, oh no, don't do it. Don't do this to me, man. Come on. And they just had to take it away. They had to let me already first cast of the year, and we're already caster cursing people.
You know, people were worried when the Gambit Bomb got G8 if we're going to see actually proper nade spots with how fast-paced this game is. And obviously, Affectini's showing it's possible, so can't wait to see how that evolves over the year. Heading into this next round, number 7, an early trade into it, leaving us even at 3. That's Crook and Affectini both off the board. But take a look at this. Fishity goes in the distance inside the tower, and he's going to fall to Relk. Still standing tall, push them in the advantage now. 4 numbers. Forces ASU to make a play.
Yeah, and Sprack, I mean, he's been the playmaker so far here.
That was bomb.
ASU Maroon. And yeah, you're not wrong at all. That is bomb down. I'm not sure if Relk can see that is bomb down, though. Obviously, it's not going to be glowing bright yellow for him. And again, it's Sprack who opens it up, finds his 3rd in a row, and he's going to tie us up into 2-2 count.
Can Gravity catch somebody off a rotation? Relk's just going to be sitting pretty up top, waiting for somebody to challenge
he
this.
did check under bridge.
And that is some COD timing and a half. Eon's going to get this for free. 1v2. Sprack, can he push this to another glide bomb? 8-1 into the game, definitely making this very stand out. 22 seconds to make this play. He has recovered the bomb. He's going to push the back church. This is amazing. He's right in behind enemy territory, putting this bomb down and the bait. Here comes the trade. Relk is baited right into it. 1v1 now. Playing for the glide bomb, playing for the round win. From map point, but not enough time. He's got to find the kill. He's got to find the round, and it's just nowhere in sight.
I do like what he did there in that round, though. He because of, if you guys don't know, because of the way that the audio cues are kind of working in the game right now, they obviously the glitch that got patched earlier on in the game was the one where you could see whether your opponent was planting or defusing the bomb. Well, you can still kind of hear it, though, and that's an audio cue that will eventually get taken out of the game, I would imagine. But he was using it to his advantage there in that round. He starts to make the plant noise, and the player that was sitting in the corner, he hears it, he challenges, but it's just a perfect bait coming out of him. Unfortunately, just not enough for Sprack to be able to close it out. But like you said, still only 1 kill off of getting that glide bomb. And with them finding those opening kills there, and the player actually with the bomb on SEU still very far in the back there, they're definitely not in a bad spot here in this round.
3-on-3. SEU, a lot of presence over towards this bridge. Thresh trying to find his opening. Gravity shuts him down. Excellent shots with the SDG. Puts SEU now in a lesser situation because you look how far away that bomb is. Disconnected from his teammate. No route opened right now for SU to take. They're going to have to find some kills to pull this one back. But this is such a cheeky spot from Effectini. I don't know if SU is going to even check this.
I didn't even realize Effectini has a glide bomb as well. So, I mean, if things get dicey here in this round, he can still use that as well. But you're not wrong at all. That is a very cheeky spot. And as soon as this bomb goes down, you would expect that he hears it start to get planted because of that audio cue. And he should be able to take the fight here. And he absolutely does here. He's going to watch over. But he over the watch. Crook with a huge kill.
Crook, he stole that. And SEU shut it down. They're bringing themselves back, Jesse. 4-4. Inside Demyance, making this quite the show. As that is not only the round their way, but they have shut down Sprack as well off of his streak. So tying us up, limiting the arsenal of ASU Maroon, and making this one heck of a show.
I really wonder if we're about to see ASU go back to their round one strat that worked oh so well for them when they pushed over towards A and just got to the inside of the site super quickly here. We haven't seen it in multiple rounds, but no, it looks like once again just a battle underneath the river, underneath that bridge, where both these teams just seem to want to play at the moment, and Eons is getting very aggressive.
Oh, he's going to be careful. Here's the glide bomb. Force them into the gunfights. Fishy's going to bait. F-18 is going to follow. That's 2 down right away. ASU Maroon playing for map point. Crook's gonna have to claw this back. Oh my goodness! The nade from Relk. That's from the tower. He shines. Only so bright though, as he is gonna fall, pushing into the aggressiveness. Effective, he's gonna find that SDG. Oh, the shot punch straight into there. What? What did we just see from that? That was something else.
I mean, we saw basically the same thing that we saw in their third offensive round, where they just used that glide bomb to open up that B site and get in there for absolutely free. And it's absolutely something you love to see. Clearly a set strat here for this team once they get streaks to just sit underneath the bridge in that area and force their opponents into uncomfortable spots on the B site and then just be able to get that bomb down for free. Easy round there from ASU. I mean, it got a little harder after that nade from Relic, but they unfortunately don't end up finding the round out from it. But nonetheless, bomb once again from the likes of SEU. Will be heading over towards this B site, it looks like. And just ASU, they're playing a lot more passive this round on defense.
Another first blood here, SEU's way. Looking to send us to round 11. Can they take over Gully? They can. That's a second one off the board now. 4v2. As the bomb is closing in on the site for the plants. Eyes onto the player crossing into Church. Sprack's going to double back to try to find this fight. Spots him inside, but he's getting bad timing right now. Jesse is amazing here. And, well, there he is. Finds him.
Sprack still has his utility as well if he needs to use a bomb to get a player off of a powerful position here.
2v3. Bomb down now. 25 seconds to make this play. 1v2, and they close on his position. SEU give us a round 11, folks, here, and map number 2 of the start of Sunday. This is fantastic right now. Eons plays this so patiently. Just to peek on up to take him off of that bridge.
Is this how this year's going to be for us? I mean, our first cast of the year, and we're already getting around 11.
I love it.
In our first cast of the year, absolutely things you love to see here. But like you said, nonetheless, we'll see what they decide to do here on offense. It will be SEU that get the offense here in the final round. And it seems like offense has been the favored side to be on throughout these rounds. I feel like more offenses have been one than defense, but a very aggressive ASU off the start.
Oh, Effectina just went big. Pushes into Fishy spot early that we saw him get stunned off of, and now making the quick heads-up play all the way around, looking to shut the door on this. Thresh is going to pull this back a little bit, claw his way out. I'm not sure if he spotted Effectini in the back, but he is playing this very cautiously as they have them closed in right now. Gravity on one side, Effectini on the other. In the middle of the map, it's Fishy. All eyes on the routes that SEU Blue could potentially exit out of here. I would like to see them group up and just fly on out onto the side. Try to overwhelm one of these players, but very discontented indeed. Effectini most likely going to be able to shut this down unless Thresh pulls some excellent timing on that, and Fishy loses the one-on-one on the other side. Does it flip completely on edge? Now Gravity in a 1v2. Can he win it out? That's the first one. Makes it a 1v1. It's bombed down. 24 seconds to work with. And look at Thresh on the opposite end. He's going to be meeting him through this church. 20 seconds left. And Gravity might be In a great position to find this one, Jesse. Here he is. But sees Thresh on the back end. Shots are good. ASU clutch up.
Oh, and a 1v1 to take a 2-0 series lead over SEU Blue. And I mean, ASU Maroon, it looked like they were very comfortable throughout that entire search and destroy, but SEU, they just kept pulling it back, kept bringing it in. Closer and closer that game got as it went along. And I mean, just look at some of these final rounds of kills, and Affectini finishing 10-6 there. What a great game out of him through that game. And I mean, a 6-5 victory, a 1v1 to close off a search and destroy in a round 11. I mean, you can't ask for a better game number 2.
I saw 5 first bloods out of 1 player on ASU Maroon. I didn't get to see the post-match stats as well and soak it in so much. It does escape it pretty quick right now, but hey, we'll get to that in a bit. 2-0 for ASU Maroon. Quite a way to start this off, but around 11 1v1. Who would have thought that this SEU Blue had what it takes right now? You know, you're looking at this roster, it doesn't surprise me. They have superstars right now, and they are looking like they are starting to mold together in the semifinals. But going down 0-2, you said it yourself, this is a dangerous position to be in, Jesse. You're looking at another hardpoint as coming up over the horizon. So, I mean, going into Tuscan hardpoint next, I mean, this is do or die for SEU Blue now. They have to reverse sweep just to move into the winners finals.
Oh, absolutely. But luckily for them, heading back into their strongest game mode, the mode that we saw them take 3 maps in their first series of the week as well. So if they can come out, they can take these next 2 maps. They can still force us into that game number 5. And like I said before, I don't know if you really want to play ASU and search and destroy. They got the ice right now, clearly in that round 11. But nonetheless, they can still absolutely pull this back. I wouldn't be surprised at all if SEU can come out and they can take the final search and destroy if we do get that full distance as well. I don't think that a reverse sweep is off the ledger at all yet, and SEU Blue definitely have the ability to do it.
Now talk to me about Tuscan a little bit, because we talked about Bokash when it came in, and it's completely polar opposites when you're looking at it, where Bokash doesn't really have any money hills because of how close the spawns are and how fast-paced it is. Tuscan is a complete different story. Talk to me a little bit about the pacing of this map. What are we looking at in Tuscan?
Well, I mean, I feel like every hardpoint map in this game right now is super fast-paced, but you're not wrong at all when there are a couple hills in this map where you can really start to get a good amount of time. That first hill, the P1, that hill is so... the break off for that hill is so important. It reminds me a lot of a control from last year, because if you can find a full 4-man down, you can really set up and get a good amount of time on that first hill. Now, I wouldn't say it's a money hill, but it's definitely a hill where you can definitely channel and get a lot of time on if you zone out correctly. And then I think the other really big hill going into Tuscan is P3, that Fountain Hill. If you can set up a hill right on that, you can absolutely turn that into a full 60. It's a little bit hard to do. Teams haven't fully figured it out yet, but if you can really set a player up on the rooftops, kind of anchoring your spawns down there, because that's the main primary spawn, if you can anchor it down there and really just set your team up in and around the hill, that's where you can really try to find a lot of time. But as soon as that player on rooftop falls, spawns are going to be all over the place.
It's crazy sometimes what we see out of Tuscan. I think it's my favorite map in Vanguard right now. Is a couple polls came out on Twitter when the first week came out. It's like instantly, as soon as I played 8s on Tuscan, I fell in love with this map. I have to say, it's definitely by far my favorite hardpoint map. Search and Destroy doesn't play too shabby on it as well. So we're looking to see if SEU Blue can start their reverse sweep, folks. If you're just tuning in, this is the CCL Vanguard launch open. This is day number 2, Championship Sunday. We're into the bracket play, double elimination bracket. This is a winner semifinal matchup. So if you lose this, you're not out of the tournament just yet. You're just out of the winner's bracket side, and you're going to have to fight through those elimination brackets just to get back into the grand finals. Now, ASU Maroon up 2-0, taking the hard point and the search and destroy on Bokash and Demyansk following the hard point. So moving into this Tuscan, I'm looking at kind of reminiscences from that first map, Bokash. We saw Relic and how it was Crook. He started to fall behind from his team. I think ended off in a very low deficit when it came to the kills factor. And when you look at a team like ASU Maroon with very high slay potential, you need to start seeing SEU Blue work together to shut down these fast-paced submachine guns on ASU. Because if you allow Affectini to do exactly what he did in that map number 1, Tuscan might get a little bit chaotic.
Yeah, it really could. I mean, especially when you're looking over this, and you're not wrong at all. I really feel like the one player on the likes of St. Edwards that really needs to step up is Kruk in this map. He had a very rough map, number one. I believe it was right around what it was like 9-40, something like that. It was not a very good map for him from himself. But I mean, that's a map where you can very easily get thrown into the blender, though. So you can't really even put full blame on him if you're just coming off spawn constantly and getting shot in the back or getting shot because you're spawning by the opposing team. It's not a situation where it's great to be in. But Tuscan, it's another map where you can kind of influence the spawns a little bit more. You can really kind of start to reel your team back in. We'll probably see 2 ARs on this map more often than seeing the 3 subs that we saw in Bocage in the first one as well. So definitely something that you can probably bring back here for Kruk and himself. Just he needs to have a good game just to kind of start to feel a little bit more confident here in the series. And if SEU really want to be able to come back in the series, it's on him to really step up here in the game for it.
Well, Jesse, we got Tuscan map number 3, a Gavatu map number 4, and a Bocage SMD in game 5. But SEU, if they want to see that map 4-5, it's got to come out now. And I love this, Fishity. Let it rip right off the start. We're seeing the sniper nade galore off the bat. Fishity strikes finally as they push on off. And you see SEU, they are like, wait a second, there's a sniper watching this. We don't want to push it at all. Fishity's going for another one, but that's back and forth trades. A split kill feed from either side. And on this monument, you're just looking at a big one-on-one between Sprack, and he's going to lose this out. That's going to be time to SEU.
Giving me some serious formal IW vibes.
Okay.
Off the start of I forget what map it was on Infinite Warfare, but he used to pull the sniper out all the time right off the rip and try to use it to his full advantage, but it didn't really seem to work out here. ASU only able to grab 9 seconds on map number 1, and SEU Blue already off to a very good start and in control of the spawns here for P2. Very weird, this P2 hill, because you don't seem to spawn in that bottom side towards the hill. The 2 major spawn pockets are towards the top right of the map and towards the kind of the middle left part of the map right by the church, and if you're not in control of one of those 2 spawns, you're going to spawn very deep.
Yeah, Thrash was playing that deep, trying to anchor those spawns. He is going to lose the rotation battle, so trying to get into it as fast as possible. Fishity on his heels is going to get the trade, but 3 down for ASU. You get the flip back in there for SEU. They're going to get time immediately starting off this hill, but you can see that ASU Maroon are starting their hunt. Effectini wins a big one-on-one into the back. It's going to pressure them from the backside. 4 go down on the opposite end, and ASU get the break.
Thresh kind of got a blessing of a spawn there and just wasn't able to do anything with it because he didn't spot the ASU Maroon players. If the spawn was maybe a second later, he would have been able to find them. And yeah, Fishity is cracked. If you guys didn't know who Fishity is, he is absolutely disgusting at Call of Duty. And I mean, he had a great game number 1, really was kind of the player to go toe-to-toe with Rauk in that game number 1, and already showing it again here in game number 2.
Look at this. I mean, this is what I was kind of worried about seeing, is when ASU start to heat up, their guns don't miss. Now, setting up for this head glitch in the back, it is going to be Sprack this time around, watching that flood on in from the main part of this hill as SEU Blue, the position, just trying to bait out some information. So here comes the nade, Kruk and Rauk. They open this one up for the collapse on in. It is going to be a tough one because Fishy and Sprack, they close out on 2 kills of their own. Fishy going to go back into this with the automation. We'll take these close range gunfights. Thresh going to get deleted right on that corner and still collecting time here. ASU, they have the lead change, and with these spawns, they could get a lot off this hill. They just need to slay out one more barrage of players. That is SEU. Rauk holds strong, tries to snap to Sprack, but not able to do so. ASU Maroon, they're going to get the scrap.
I love the overextension that we see from Sprack there in that hill. He basically decides, hey, you know what? I know that we're spawning towards this back rooftop. Well, I can push around through the middle of the map and get in behind these players just as quickly as my teammates can reinforce from the back of the hill. So he absolutely does that, finds a couple of kills, able to really make the difference there and find the scrap time. But they won't turn scrap into initial. SEU Blue will be the first team set up over here at Church.
Yeah, gravity in enemy territory. Eon's trying to shut him down, but gets absolutely worked around the backside. 3 kills to ASU. They're going to break in for not initial time, but the early break for time to favor their lead. As you can see, SEU are trying to lock down these angles from all around, but losing their one-on-ones into the site. It's 3 down again. Thrash, last one standing. He gets pinched out by Effectini. Relk off spawn. He's able to get back into that right away, but still losing these gunfights as Effectini 3 in a row now inside this church. The last close player for SEU Blue is number 8. We did sneak on in from that P1 route as Eons for the break in the last couple seconds, and looking to hold on to this one to close this lead heading into Command Center.
So watching over this game now, I know it's a pretty close game throughout here. It's only a 23-point game to the likes of ASU Maroon, but just looking at the slaying numbers alone, it just feels like the slaying numbers and the SMGs on the likes of SEU Blue are just having a very hard time at hardpoint keeping up with the ASU Maroon players right now.
Oh no! Oh no! Thresh gives him a right hook right to the chin. There's still nobody inside this hard point just yet. You can see Gravity looking to work his way underneath, get some good timing onto Ralk undetected. It's another 3 down for SEU. Make it 4 Fishy finds Eons. And you see the spawns from SEU. They're all the way in church, Jesse. Looking to get on this right away, but I like this. They're all gonna just fly on out here. They're just gonna be walking to the death though. Fishy finds 2. Lining up with each other. They slide on in for a 3rd. Can't find the 4th though. He's gonna be in for the connection, but Sprat closes out.
That's big too, because the ASU players hold their kill cams. They wait for their teammates to actually find those last couple kills, and so instead of spawning out Fountain, because of SEU having that spawn blocked, they'll actually spawn close on the hill and just be able to, one, reinforce the hill again immediately, but also just get the fast rotation right over towards the new hill. But it will be SEU Blue that should be in control of this hill early on.
Again, looking to step up here. Sprack get some good routes around there. 3 down once more inside the kill feed. Looking for the 4th on top of that. Excellent from Thresh. Hops up in there, takes the fight to them. Still gonna fall eventually as Fishy's gonna close this one out. ASU Maroon gonna gain some time off here. By the time the contention comes in, Gravity's already found his way into this cheeky angle just on side of this outside route here in the ruins. Goes in for a second one, pushes the aggression, has Fishy right above him, taking the slaying potential to the next level. Closes out for another 2 in a row, and looking to gain this scrap time here. Still, SEU Blue, they don't want to give this one up. They have the potential to reinforce this because they can just leave Ralk all the way in the back.
Yeah, and SEU, they are just going to completely full send this over towards the new hill, and these are some big kills coming through right now, and it's really just Sprack who has a chance to kind of influence these spawns and try to get these players out of their powerful positions here if you're SEU. But he doesn't spot Relk in the deep corner. Relk will find the kill, and there should be a lot of early time now going to the likes of SEU with that 4 down.
4 go down. They're all spawning in the church. And they're going to send 2 for the wrap around here. Relk's going to have a lot on his hands. The other 2 trying to take their time to cross their T's, dot their I's to make their way through that patio. They are going to overwhelm Thresh up top. Nobody inside the hill collecting time. Finally, F-Actini's going to hop on to try to soak this up. Leaves it to a teammate. Do the wrap around. Big one-on-one against Eons. That's 4 down once more. But these spawns from SEU, because they're able to beat a spawn up so close, they're keeping ASU Maroon from pushing their lead on this hill.
Really setting up a good pinch was ASU Maroon throughout that hill, but I mean, I'd say SEU got the majority of time there, but ASU did a good job of kind of just breaking it in and just not allowing them to get the full 60 on that hill and just kind of chipping away at the lead a little bit, or kind of building their lead up a little bit more and more. And they'll actually find themselves with a 40-second lead as we head back in towards our money hill. And you got to think that this money hill was probably the big difference in that first set of rotations and why you see that little bit of a lead right now for ASU Maroon. So with SEU holding the hill early on, this is a good chance for them to come back into this game.
In the back gardens with the SCG. This can be lethal right now. Look at ASU Maroon for the retakes. Trying to set up through all different routes. Because there's a lot to get into it, but they close the door on their face. 3 down in succession. Sprack last alive. The closest one into this hill is going to hop up to the burning building. He's going to be trying to get in through the back alley, but still kills going the way of SEU Blue. That is another 4 down. Jesse Eons is going to fall after finding that glide bomb, but the damage has been done. We're going to see a lead change.
Oh man, watching them play this map right now for SEU and how they just held that full 60, it's exactly what I was talking about. So proud as a color caster to watch that come through. These teams have been definitely doing their homework on hardpoint, and they know exactly how to get a full 60 on that hill if they get the full time and the full rotation over. But now here comes the hard part, the big rotation from hill 3 to hill 4. It's a long one across the map, and ASU Maroon are going to be their team early setup.
This was tough last time around. SEU Blue had trouble breaking into this hill. ASU's slaying potential when you do get into the close range gunfights that are the close corridors inside church. They get troublesome against these SMGs, but finally Thresh and Crook, they find the opening. They get into the hill. Can they hold off? They can't. 3 down as F-Actini gets back into the mix. It's only for a short moment though, because Thresh can re-aggress right off this spawn. Off the back of Eons, he's able to break.
And I think it's the first time that they've been able to break Church. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like you said, they struggled very hard in that first set of rotations to break into that hill. And now SEU, they're going to start to build that lead up, and they're actually in control command center again first into this P5 hill. And I mean, if they can string these two hills together, this could be a really, really big lead starting to grow for SEU.
They have a crossfire, but the nades are going to come spamming on in. Not finding kills just yet, but enough damage to kind of make it a toss-up for just now. 192 to 169. Finally, Relic is going to drop in the end. Here's where things get dangerous. Blood's going to be shed into the hill, but it's all ASU Maroon blood as they're painting the hill right now in Maroon. Finally, they slay back. He's able to find 3. Turn up for a big solo play. It's only for so long right now. You can see SEU Blue flooding on in back from the patio, looking to flush out these players one by one, and that's exactly what they do.
Well, up until that point, this hill was the definition of being a very contest-heavy hill. You were getting both teams kind of just spawning back.
Look at this.
Into their spawns, and yes, you're going to see a streak come on through. He will be able to find one as well. Eons, that dot wasn't even showing up on the mini-map originally, but just predicting where those spawns were able to find that kill come on through. And SEU really starting to build a good lead here for themselves. What, up 33 seconds as we head in towards our final, or in towards our first hill of our third set of rotations. And really with a good chance to put it away here on a hill they've looked very strong on.
You said it yourself earlier, this might not be a money hill, Jesse, but in the right circumstances, you can soak a lot of time here. The Kadeshian's going to be on board inside the hill. SEU collecting it now as they're finding the kills. Crooked Eon finds Suofishti, looking to make the wrap around, is able to find Thresh. Now they know the threat. It's coming through you. But SEU, they are taking the fights where they want the fights at the moment. Here's 2 around the back. Gravity's going to fall in the front line. Sprag finds a big opening now with 2. Make it 3. He breaks back in. SEU Blue, 241. They're looking for the rotation.
Stopping SEU in their tracks. 9 seconds left to win. And let's not forget, you guys, that this is the map that ASU Maroon lost yesterday by milliseconds. They do not want to have that happen again.
Oh, no.
And you can already see the adjustments coming through. They didn't get the rotation over towards hill number 2 on their last set of rotations the last time we saw this team play this hill. And now SEU Blue, they will be the first team here, but there's such a presence right now from ASU Maroon. They can still break into this.
Yes, they can. Right out from Church. Eons tries to catch them on rotation. 1 second left. Nobody touches.
Wow.
SEU Blue, they force a map 4. Sneaking away with Tuscan. ASU Maroon, they give it up again. Definitely showing some signs of weakness here on Tuscan, but looking to grow as a team as they were right on the edge of victory. 201 to 250. Not so shabby in their own aspects. Yes, might have said showing signs of weakness, but this team, man, they make it look close.
And that's what we talked about. This team can be a very good hardpoint team when they get everything clicking. And finally in that map, we started to see all the players finally start to, you know, move in all the pieces together. Everything started clicking. You started to see them. They made a big comeback in that game. They were down 60 points at one point to ASU Maroon. They make that big comeback, and what they won by almost 60 at the end of that as well for themselves. So good shoots to the likes of SEU Blue to be able to come back, win that game. But now comes just another hard part, because there's so many hard points in a series right now. We don't have a third game mode, so hard point search, hard point search. So now we got to focus on Gava 2 and going towards another hard point here.
And you know what? Towards the end of that, you got to give some hats, or you got to tip some hats to the side of SEU Blue, because the way that they were handling that, it's nothing like Bocage. They were getting those early rotations. They were feeding ASU Maroon through some tight chokeholds and really winning some crucial team fights. At one point over on Fountain, I think they found, what, 8, maybe 9 kills in a row as a team, and that's just something insane to happen. Getting that full 60 back on Fountain really brought them back in it, and they never looked back. They got the break on Church, they got the rotation over to Command Center, and you said it. I mean, like, that hill number 1, it might not be a money hill, but if you force the right circumstances, you can close it out there. And I like the early glide bomb out of Eons, catches the player off of rotation, allows you to set up for a very comfortable hold back on that hill number 1, and then that kind of turns it into something where it's maybe like a makeshift money hill where you're able to soak up that time because everybody's scrambling back to the hill when you're ASU Maroon.
Yeah, I mean, a makeshift money hill indeed. They were able to find, what, 30 seconds out of that hill before the final hill popped. And they stayed in control of that final hill as well in terms of just being able to kind of zone out in the right ways and being able to be the first team there. I thought ASU was going to be able to win the rotation over there with just the amount of players they had there, but the SEU, they just came out on top in the gunfights. And I do feel like there might have been a little bit of a misplay by the ASU players. It kind of felt like they were waiting to make one final push onto that hill because there were players around the hill, but like you related to at the very end of that game, they just didn't touch the hill. So SEU walked away with the game like thieves in the night, just stole it away from ASU Maroon. But yeah, I mean, I think there's one thing that I'm kind of excited about too for SEU when I look at this next map that we're heading to. Tuscan and Bocage, they play very, very differently. Bocage is a very fast-paced map. You're going to see a ton of engagements. No money hills, really, in my opinion, on that map. When you look at Tuscan, you got that money hill. You saw how strong SEU Blue was able to play on that money hill the second set of rotations through. Heading to Gavatu, that map has quite a few hills that you can definitely turn into full 60s. I mean, P4 and P5 alone are two hills that can really, really be strong hills. The radar station, if you zone out correctly, your team will just spawn up in the north jungle, and you can just continuously just spawn and rotate back inside the hill, keep your opponent spawning out West Beach or wherever they spawn far away from the hill. And then for the final one as well, that Docks hardpoint, if you can get into that hill first, I mean, it is just a tough one to break into because of how close, again, you can spawn.
And you guys know what you're looking for. It's boat control. Boat control is going to lead to so much on Gavatu.
Oh, my God. That top Eagle's nest.
It's crazy what you get. And we started seeing yesterday as that Gavatu, it might be a large map, but this is going to be heavy dominated by the automation players because that top boat area, when you have your automation set up on the power position, I mean, Proper said it himself yesterday, is they can just rain terror down onto the enemies from every angle on the map. It just provides so many openings to so many sightlines.
It really reminds me especially of or not that it reminds me of, but a kind of a fun analogy to make is, you know how like the first hardpoint is that gun hardpoint? Well, it kind of feels like that gun hardpoint is kind of in full effect when you have a player up in that Eagle's nest, because he can just watch over the entire map, kind of like a gunner, and it is just absolutely crazy. But this first hardpoint is just an absolute slugfest off the rip.
Oh, my screen just shook a little bit. I thought I was getting an earthquake, but that's just the nade spam. That is this hill, and ASU Maroon, they're going to walk out on top when the dust settles. Effectini soaking things up indeed. Here's the condition out, still slaying out 3 in a row. Going to wrap right back around, loses the gunfight to Eon, so the break is out from SEU. But you can see that ASU Maroon, they aren't going to be favoring this boat. They're going to be favoring the rotations and just setting up so that they can take the fight to SEU when the time comes.
And SEU, I mean, after getting that initial break off, they've done a really good job of just zoning all these players out, watching all of their little chokeholds here. I mean, I can't even see a thing because all these grenades and stuns going off, but Eon's apparently can, and he's just going to spot that player up top, not able to find the kill, but still doing his job. And the rotation absolutely on here for ASU Maroon. They should be able to get a good amount of time here on this second hill, as long as you're holding on to a good amount of this boat control.
We don't get earthquakes here in Southern Ontario unless we're playing Gavatu. Then it really seems like we do, but still ASU Maroon slaying out 28-25 after the first hill. Pretty marginally even, but boat control is going to be in the hands now, as you can catch these players off of rotation, taking some heat from the offices, but it is going to be ducking down low. Here's the challenge from back, and an immediate 4 down. It's going to be time to SEU some big time to their team.
That's a great break, and they're going to know exactly where ASU are spawning up, and you can see the kill feed just coming into full effect here as Eons is starting to really start to slay out here in this game. He's 1 and 2 to start off on a 5 spree, now finds that glide bomb and looking to just try to continue on this streak as they look for this next hill to pop. And who's going to be in control of it? Who's in control of the right hand side of the map? It's still SEU Blue as we look at over towards West Beach.
There's not a lot of cover on this map, Jesse, so those glide bombs, those strafe runs, they are going to be deadly. Finally, Gravity finds a kill to break the streak. He's going to take down Thresh, but you look at the rest of the team. They're on 6 still. Eons makes it 7. That's full streaks for himself. Is going to be able to soak up this time as a reward, and immediately calls in the glide bomb, looking to steamroll through ASU Maroon.
Yeah, they really want to just try to build a big lead up as quickly as possible here. And like we kind of alluded to, because the next 2 hills are such big money hills, ASU Maroon can absolutely bring themselves right back into this game. I mean, barring a couple streaks now on the side of SEU. So just because they can bring themselves back in this game doesn't mean SEU is going to allow them to, though.
Oh,
they
no.
want to get as big of a lead here as they can before those big money hills pop and before a team can really get into full control of it. Because when you're looking at Sprack right now, he's already thinking about the next rotation. There's 20 seconds left, but he is already at the next hill.
And Sprack's going to be anchoring things down over on the left side of the mini-map. The kills are going to be coming through now. ASU's Maroon time to Slay out, as they have brought this back to a 20-point deficit. In control of the initial time here at Hill 4. SEU Blue, they're going to be sitting up top of boat for this break. But again, Fishy holding off in this front line, maintaining or mitigating the damage that can come out from this potential danger.
This is huge from ASU Maroon. I mean, they held West Beach from the middle of the map pretty much that entire time, and were able to really get the back 20 seconds there and then turn it into the first initial time here. So that's a big 40-point swing now. Going to the side of ASU Maroon brings them right back into this game, even with streaks on the side of SEU, but that's a huge two-piece from the two submachine gun players on SEU to really start to bring them back. They actually break the spawns in the back left-hand side as well onto the North Beach, and now they can really start to bring it back into their favor.
The steep spawn, it can be deadly to the later ends of the game. Let's see if they can take their lead a little bit with the remaining scrap time. They do get the break. Relic's going to be getting in for the time, as the players wrapping around this hill for ASU, looking to just maintain the exits and lock them down into the spawn trap. As you know, Jesse, how dangerous this can get.
Oh, it absolutely can. But here's the big thing with this one, and I hate to keep kind of referencing the same thing, but this reminds me a lot of Moscow search and, or a lot of Moscow hardpoint, where if you don't lock down one of the money hills, you absolutely need to lock down this P5 hill, and that's what you're seeing out of ASU Maroon. They got the first 20 seconds on the old hill, they got broken immediately, but this is a great hold for them. But already the spawns get broken from SEU. What the heck?
Sprack finds one from the top ropes, looking to stay alive now, playing the close angle. Crook's gonna take him out, but the trades are there. ASU holding on tight right now to this 4-point lead. But at SEU Blue, they do get right back into this, right on the back of this flipped spawn. Ralk holding the close angle with his SCG is gonna peek out for the kill, loses the fight to Sprack. The break coming through, surrounded by SEU players. Sprack's gonna fall, and again, SEU break on in for the remaining scrap time.
That's a huge break from the back from SEU, just to be able to break that jungle spawn, to give their team the best chance of being able to break into that hill. Now we head back over towards P1, and I'm surprised that not absolutely everything around this hill is broken yet. As I say that, it looks like the last of the little bit of cover that you'll get is broken finally here, but all of ASU Maroon, they should be here. They should be right and around the hill to be able to help and reinforce this hill to not allow these SEU players to get into it. But SEU looked very strong on this hill through the first set of rotation, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a break here.
Whoa, Gravity reads the right angle, but loses the gunfight. A split feed right now, still holding ASU inside this hill. Fishy has control of the sniper's nest. Watch the cross through mid, and oh, he is not going to give this one up. Is Sprack about to throw some hands inside? He looks like he's ready for a boxing match down here. Here it comes. Oh, it's right around the Rosie. What are we getting? Who's going to take the fight? Oh, no, Relic's going to get him with the combat knife.
I thought they were both just throwing hands for a second there.
I thought they were just chasing each other. A game of tag, maybe hide and seek. I don't know.
So I'm not 100% sure, but Fishy was on 4 in a row at one point. Not sure if he was able to find streaks for himself throughout sitting up in that top gunner, but he did get dropped out of that spot in the Eagle's Nest. And now with the new hill popping in, will be SEU back into control of the hill again early on here, looking to build this lead up a little bit stronger.
SEU up 147 to 126, maintaining this lead, but just by a small margin. One good hill from ASU could flip things on a tide. Still looking for the break. Fishy finds an opening here and finds his second one onto Thresh, so that's a big opening now. The window is there. The opportunity is presented. Can they take control and convert this into time? Here's the streak coming out now from SEU. Looking to hold this one off. Thresh with the glide bomb from above and finds Crook inside the hill. Luckily, a teammate can hold on its route to get back into this, and they're not going to lose too much off of that team kill.
Oh, man, you would have loved to have seen them use that streak if they needed to get a break a little bit later on, maybe. But nope, they're going to use it to find their own player inside the hill when they really didn't even need to use the streak at that moment. But nonetheless, they will be back in control of West Beach again as we look to, or sorry, of South Beach. No, I was right before. It is West Beach as we look to head over towards our next hill. And, I mean, SEU, we saw them here early on in the last set of rotations, but ASU Maroon did a great job of holding this from the P1 hill, from that Top Gun area. And again, it looks like that's going to be the same setup that ASU Maroon go for here.
Eons, like a hawk, Keeping his eyes on the prize right now. That's 4 down. SEU, they can push their lead over 200. Look how far ASU are, Jesse.
Yeah, it's really tough. Fishy will choose to invest that streak as well. And you can tell that ASU Maroon, with 20 seconds left, they know there is no point of trying to push all the way across this map with how much time you can get on this hill. The last time we saw this hill pop, ASU, they were able to get the first 20 seconds of it. It was a very scrappy through the middle 20, but the back 20, it went to SEU, and they were actually able to get the rotation all the way across the map as well and shut them down on the next hill. So you thought that ASU Maroon were going to be trying to push over here and get a good setup, but 3 players fall, and this should actually be SEU being able to turn West Beach time into early time here on the radar station.
Yeah, they put the glide bomb in. They find FXTD in the back. They're going to find 3 kills the other way if ASU Maroon looking for the break. And there it is. 4 go down. Still spawning up, though, close into the bottom. Anchor Arced Rock is going to be Relton Co. as SEU looking to break on in soon. They have a lot of time, a lot of comfort area right now into this hill. And the strafe run, it doesn't even find a kill. In fact, it finds Relk again. Another team kill off a misused streak.
That's just a strafe run, man. Those gunners, they go rogue sometimes. They find your own teammates, and unfortunately, that's going to be the case there. But it just doesn't really matter right now. I mean, ASU Maroon, yes, this is a great comeback starting to happen at the moment, but it's literally needing to be picture-perfect COD from this point on. SEU Blue to 235 to the 170 of ASU Maroon, and in control of this Dock Hills first. They have the spawns that they want. If ASU Maroon want to be able to win this game, they need a break here very, very quickly.
238, 171, looking to send us to a map number 5, and they only need 10 seconds left. Jesse Sprack, he is going to find one fish, and he gets the break. That's 4 down, but still spawning into the southern jungle is going to be SEU.
Oh, they don't recognize it.
Going to be able to get right back into this hill. Finally, Fish, and he turns around. Another 3 down for ASU. Moving over 182, and they're still spawning there. SEU Blue, they don't have to give this up just yet. They're actually going to find 2 around the outside. Looking for the pitch. FXTD is going to fall. That's 3 down the other way. Only 7 seconds needed. They're looking to give us a map number 5, and it looks like that's exactly what we're going to get.
It absolutely is. SEU Blue. That spawn in the back of South Jungle is so tough to break, and they just kept spawning there. They couldn't break that spawn, and you saw ASU Maroon, after they cleared it out, after they got that 4-man wipe, they thought, hey, you know what, we got this wipe. Everybody turned around. They started looking towards the middle of the map because they thought that everybody was going to be spawning there from the likes of the ASU players. But it just wasn't the case. St. Edwards, they continued to spawn in that jungle, and it just made it that much tougher. And Colin, would you look at that? It was almost like me and you knew what was going on. We called it. SEU Blues hardpoint is absolutely disgusting, and we're going to see a game 5 here.
Hey, look, I'm just here to talk over some good Call of Duty. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just kidding. This is what I expected here right now. SEU Blue, ASU Maroon. There's a reason why they're in the semifinals, because they fought tooth and nail to get here. And SEU Blue, all throughout this whole series, they've just gotten better and better, Jesse. I mean, it all started in the Search and Destroy. They pushed us to a round 11. Yes, they lost a 1-on-1. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate, but for the rest of it, I mean, that second hard point into Tuscan, the third hard point into Gvatsu, they have been slaying out time and time again.
Yeah, they really have. They looked a lot better in those last 2 games, and even in the second map, Search and Destroy, they only lost that in around 11. So it is definitely not out of the cards, this reverse sweep. Now here comes the issue, though, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news to SEU Blue, but we're heading back to Bocage, and by far that was probably the most one-sided map that we have seen out of any of them throughout this entire series. Even though it was a 250 to 194 game and SEU kept it close, SEU was having a very hard time keeping up in the slaying column with the ASU players on this map. It'll be kind of interesting to see when we head in towards the Search and Destroy and the pace gets really slowed down, if that's going to be the same case here, or if SEU Blue are going to be able to pull out a win.
I mean, it's hard to say, really. I mean, we've noted how tough SEU has had it in the Search and Destroy category throughout the whole series, so they're going to have to kind of dig deep into this one, Jesse. And looking at the map that we do have, we're going back to Bocage, where this whole thing started off, and what were they struggling in? It was the slaying potential that ASU Maroon had on a close quarter map. And I've noted it many times back on Tuscan Inside Church, when the close quarters are the presence, ASU Maroon, they shine the most.
Yeah, it really feels like the SMG battle right now is really being won on the likes of ASU Maroon. And then also, not only that, really think about it. What is Fishy going to really be able to run on this map, and what gun will be very strong on this map will be that automaton. So if he can really kind of run to his full role as well, and we saw how strong he was in map number 1, he was double positive. This could be a map where ASU could really run away with things, especially with how good their Search and Destroy has looked this weekend alone. He's still yet to drop a Search and Destroy inside of the bracket play.
Folks, this is only match number 1 today on Sunday, on Championship Sunday at that. We already got a map number 5. I want you to get hype in the chat because we've been blessed right now with this. Bokar Search and Destroy doesn't get any better than this. You know the deal if you've been playing Vanguard for the little bit, if you've been watching 8s, if you've been watching the Pro Scrim. Triple SMG, 1 AR. That's going to be the vibe here. And just like Tuscan, just like Demyansk, this is looking at the attackers to make that early presence through the middle of the map, Jesse. But what do you want to see on the defensive side? What do you want to see stop these attackers?
I mean, it's kind of interesting on defense. It's a little bit tough to play on this map as well because of how kind of spread out the 2 bombs are. You have one in the bottom of the river, you have one inside a house. So it's kind of 50-50 on where you want to play. It's more so about kind of playing for retakes than as it is about really just kind of setting it up. It's very different from how we saw Search and Destroy really being played inside of Cold War. I think a big thing too that we're not really touching on yet and that we haven't touched on fully yet is that on the likes of ASU Maroon, we could see Fishy pull out that sniper again here and go Riverside with it.
Gonna be interesting. Off the rip, ASU Maroon on the defensive side. On offense, SEU Blue looking to lead the charge, but a very passive take, leaving Crook in the SMG to close the distance. Already in there and down and dirty. He's gonna find Gravity like it was nothing. So quick to the pull. And the trigger is lethal. A second one from Thresh. It is gonna be traded out from Effectini. And they even this up right like that. Still bomb in the backline. Crook prays on Fishy from the back. Is going to put him in a 2v1 and get this bomb down. But look at this flank from Effectini.
Yeah, but at some point, you got to realize, like, hey, we haven't seen this player in so long. Maybe we might be able to see it, and this is a beautiful thing.
My.
A 1v1 cam here, and Effectini versus Crook here in the 1v1.
Shout out to the prod for this one, and Crook's got the angle. Misses the shots, is a little bit shaky. Has to find a different route onto it. Effectini making sure it's just as close as Theta Sol. Crook looking to shut this down. Effectini's holding the bomb, holding the defuse and the knife. Was it enough? ASU Maroon, they get the defuse at the last second. What?
They got the defuse? I was so lost there because one of our feeds was just the tiniest bit behind there in the 1v1 cam. And you could not tell from our first view, but the defuse came through. Wild scenes here in round number 1. I can't believe he got that defuse off.
A game 5, a round 11, and now that? Oh my, I love CCL. Round number 2, Jesse. Things have slowed down. Sprax gonna be holding into the zigzag. This is exactly where Crook took the bomb, found first blood onto Gravity, and then it was history from there. However, it's Crook again onto Gravity for first blood. Second round in a row.
Yeah, I mean, Crook is definitely not letting his demons from map number 1 on this map affect him here in map number 2 as he's been already on fire throughout. But Sprack, he'll be heading in towards this A site. And instantly, the rest of the SEU players are all going to just kind of reinforce onto the hill. Crook's able to find another kill before falling, so that should be the glide bomb as well. And Fishy now all alone in a 1 versus 3. This is a tough spot to be in.
I found 5 before falling. 1v3 is going to be a hard one, but Fishy has been lights out all series long. This is the first checked off the board. Thresh is going to receive that to the noggin, but walks into the gunfire. The pre-aim from SEU. That's 2 quick rounds here. That's actually no, because they lost the defuse. It's one to even this up off a misplay.
I mean, yeah, it definitely looked like they should have had that round number 1, but yeah, that last second defuse it came through. And what a sneaky defuse that was. I still can't get over that round number 1 defuse coming through there, but nonetheless, back onto offense will be SEU. They got the bomb down very easily in that first round, and you really thought they were going to be able to play off it well. But like we said, just a very sneaky defuse comes on through. This time it's going to be a very different hit, though, heading over towards the river.
Yeah, if you get this bomb down at B, that opens up a lot. But the Gravity, or the glide bomb, It's going to be pulled. Can it find another one right here? Looking for Affectini up in the tower. He is going to be playing it safe. Looking to push on now, but flooding on into Eons. That's already 2 for himself into the round. Fishity and Affectini off the board. It's Gravity and Sprague to clutch up.
It's going to be hard to get a Ninja Diffuse here into this portion of the map, especially with 4 players left alive on SEU, and Eon's finding that first on a Spark. It's going to make it that much harder. Gravity all by himself, 1v4, getting shot in the back already. He doesn't even know where to go. He's going to dive into the tunnel, but this is a very tough spot to be in.
Yeah, it's slippery, so let's hop right into the mix, right into the enemy stronghold. And SEU, a second round, using the kill streak early, finding the win. And yeah, the kill streak might not have found anything, but it just provides so much space for your team to move through, because the rest of the team on ASU Maroon, they have to hide. Nobody can be outside, so it's just so many openings for SEU to take.
This is really tough, too, because this could really realistically be a 3-0 lead here for SEU, but because of that round number 1 Ninja Diffuse coming through, SEU, they find themselves only up 2-1, and another very close search and destroy off the start of this one.
Oh, the cook, the Kobe.
And nothing. But he will get away with his life, still on 5 in a row for Eons as well. The bomb's starting to make its way up over towards the A site as well, so...
Ooh, I like
actually
this.
Sounds like the glide bomb gets used here from Eons.
Oh, that's so cheeky. Eons finds Affectini, though, so... I'm not sure if he saw the player hop up into attic. Off of that time, Fishy has slipped himself right through the armor. That is SEU. Now, can you convert off of this? Can you find first blood to give your bomb a little bit safer of this one? There it is. Finds Relk. Hops up into the back of this house now. Deep into this one. I want to keep my eyes on Eons, because Eons is going to be way off of this. He's looking to catch these players off rotation, but he's a little bit late to the rotation. Sprague's going to find a second. 2v3 now as ASU Maroon put themselves in the advantage. Now Thrash, he gets flushed out. 1v3. Can Eons now do this? 6 in a row. Looking for 7, but Gravity slams the door.
So the glide bomb gets used in that round from SEU, and ASU is able to come away with the round victory. So, I mean... I wouldn't say it was a misplay of the bomb. He found first blood. He did everything right in that round, not only finding the first blood, but also gets a ton of map information from it. They just don't do anything with that information. I mean, you would have known that Fishity went up top inside of house. Nobody watches it, though. He finds the first blood onto your team to even us up at a 3v3. And then just in that round, just Fishity and Affectini, they just kind of, or sorry, Fishity and Sprague, they just kind of go off inside of the A site and inside and around the house. And it just makes their lives that much easier. And oh my god, Crook again. Off the start of this round for SEU. He's just going to dive through to A.
Look, I get that. I was fed the intel that he loves the ego chels, but I didn't expect that one. Affectini able to get the trade, and yeah, off that last round, I mean, hats off to Fishity. Sometimes, you know, this might be a collegiate lead, but the students, they do become the teachers, and definitely teaching me something into that one, able to pull it back and even us up. But a big play from Crook to find first blood, and an even bigger one from Affectini to slow down SEU.
I just love the scenes that you get to see when they just run headfirst through the wall and take a gunfight. It is such a funny thing to see, because it's just something that you're just so not used to really seeing in Call of Duty, seeing breakable walls and seeing things like that being able to come through. But Sprague and Affectini, they find 2 opening kills through into the A site, and that's going to put Relic in a terrible spot here. 1 versus 3, bomb down in a really, really bad spot, and the door gets shut on him, literally closing the door on the round.
Oh, I love this so much. And yeah, you say Affectini finds 2 opening kills. I'd rather call them 2 closing kills. Now they know exactly where Relk is, and they're ready to close this round out. There's no time at all. Relk doesn't want to feed into these streaks, so he's just going to hide. And nobody on ASU Maroon going to be chasing this either. So it's going to be a 3rd round for ASU here on Bocage, finally finding themselves a lead.
Yeah, that was hilarious. The door closing, absolutely just shuts the door on the round. It really was poetic in that round, but nonetheless, we hop back into another ASU offense here. They've done a lot of different things on offense so far. We've seen them go towards A. We've seen them go towards the B site. They've used streaks to open sites up. We'll see what they decide to do this time through, but somehow finding a lead throughout this game when really it looks like SEU was in control of the early portions of it.
Shots ringing off, but No kills. Well, there's one. Gravity finds Crook this time, flipping the odds now, finding first blood for his squad. Can F18 find a second? He can, keeping the lead for his team. 3v2. Looking for a fourth now. The B site is open, susceptible for plants, and Sprack's going to get there and put that bomb down immediately. F18 looking for another one right around that. That's a nasty head glitch. You don't want to get that. He's going to dip into the tunnel, take a big fight there, finds Thresh. 1v3 now. Rel, can he get this clutch? All alone. He's going to be actually taking the route Thresh did, going through the tunnel, looking to slip the lines. And he's actually walking right into a crossfire. Player number 7, Gravity. He's got eyes onto this from above. Avatini's going to take contact. Relk takes the big win. 1v2. You look at the rotations not coming through. No flanks. 20 seconds left to make a play for Relk. But this is going to be a hard one. Both players on a head glitch. Relk walking into the danger zone. 11 seconds left. There's just no time, Jesse, to find both kills and the defuse. Gravity makes the play, wraps around, and closes it 4-2.
I think a big thing, though, in that round, though, even though Rauk doesn't win the round in the 1v3, what he does do is he shuts down the Effectini string, so no more glide bomb. Not a possibility here for ASU at the moment. I mean, they did have another player on streak, so I'm not sure where he's sitting at just at the moment. We'll get to see in a second here as the scoreboard pops back up. But, I mean, ASU, that was a very solid round out of them just to get control of the site, be able to get that bomb down. And it's Sprack who's on 3. So if Sprack's able to find 2 more, that will be a glide bomb going into their favor. But like I said, able to shut down 1, still good enough.
That's 3 rounds in a row now, starting to catch some momentum here.
What the heck is going on with that window?
It is half at a time, let me tell you, Jesse. But SEU, they really need to find some success here to slow this down, because ASU Maroon, as they get hot, you can see that they are just getting even hotter, and each player is stepping up now into their respective roles, starting to get comfortable on both cars. That spells trouble for SEU.
And it's kind of tough, too, because SEU didn't take advantage early on in the game when they really could have been up 3-0, and now you find ASU Maroon really rattling off, 4 rounds here, and very possibly working towards another one after finding that first blood with Fishty.
All the way from the B site. Crook has
Crook is
no
so
idea.
aggressive.
He has no idea. He's basically holding hands with the player on the right. Thresh finds the trade. Fishity's going to be off that. Kool-Aid Man's right into there. Right into Sprack, who lines him up for 2. A 1v3. Eons this time with 20 seconds left. He is able to pull this one back 1v2. And, again, does he have the bomb? He does. So potential for plant here, but closing it fast are these ASU players. He is going to be interrupted, and rudely so. That's 5 rounds for ASU, as that's 4 rounds in a row now. And as you said, Sprack finding streaks of it as well.
Yeah, when they busted through that door, who was it? It was Thresh and another player. One bust through the door, the other one busted through the wall, and they both run in and they just body stack for Sprack, and that's going to put Sprack on 5 in a row, able to find that glide bomb. And I would not be surprised at all here if we see a very slow hit out of ASU and to see them try to use that glide bomb to open up the river side of the map.
3 rounds in a row to give us round 11, and 4 to make the reverse sweep happen. ASU Maroon looking to punch their ticket here into the winners finals, folks. Let's see exactly that. Here's the glide bomb from Sprack. Oh, look at the player on the right. He's out in the open. That's going to be first blood immediately. Sprack is going to find it before his teammate can. That's bombed down right off the back of that. No trades from SEU in a second one. Oh, I thought that was going to be a second one there. The shots were ringing, but only whistles through this one. How are we going to see this retake happen?
I mean, they would need to find these 2 players in the back. The spots that Effectini is playing right now with Gravity, it's just such a tough spot to be able to break anybody out of.
Well, there it is. Thresh, a big win. Fishity's going to be out there. Here's the play. Swing around the other one. Crook's going to find Effectini, but Gravity's still alive. 20 seconds left. Rauk makes it a 2v1. Sprack all alone. He has the better positioning. He's going to hop up top here. Does he have eyes on the bomb? It doesn't seem like he does. Rauk's going to hop the defuse. Sprack's going to have to push the aggression, but I have to take the gunfight first, and it's just not going to happen. The clutch defuse, the kills don't matter. SEU stay alive.
Well, the kills might matter. I mean, he was on streak still, so those kills coming through, they might just add to that streak. He may have been able to find another one, but that's a huge clutch up round though from SEU to keep them into this game. I said they needed to clear those 2 players out of the back towards that river first, and once they cleared those 2 players out, that's when that made that round that much easier for themselves there. Unfortunately, Effectini was caught watching the wrong direction off the start of that round, and just really did not work out into their favor. Oh, and actually, I'm a liar. Sprack fell the round before after finding that glide bomb, so no streak's going to be earned here for ASU Maroon.
Croak really likes this aggression. I'd like to see him get the bomb down off of that instead of pushing through the second door, but just wants to make sure that everything is there. Affectini, though, finds Thresh. Bomb still getting planted at A. The objective is going to be putting some pressure now onto ASU to make a play. They have to wrap around. The trade's going to be going their way. Eon splits the difference, makes it even a 2v2. Gravity inside the A site. Player to his right. Is he going to expect that? Trying to work alongside Fishity to find a mistake inside the setup for the post plant. 25 seconds to work with. You need 7.5 for the defuse. Gravity takes the ego shell. Relk wins it out. Fishity in a 1v2. And look at that. Relk makes it 4.
Oh, man. I mean, Colin, I feel like we couldn't get two more even teams in this series right now than these two teams at the moment, because when you're really watching this, the fact that all of our games in Hardpoint were very, very tight games. We went to a round 11 in our first Search and Destroy. This just has every feeling right now. We're heading into round 10. It just really feels like we're going to get a game 5 round 11 here with the way that these two teams are playing.
Whew. Jesse, these guys are making me feel all types of ways right now. Let me tell you, in this Search and Destroy, this whole series right now, imagine another round 11 here while SEU 1 round away from making it so. As very patient, very passive towards A, but yet aggressive towards B. Player number 4, watch the crossing here. Affectini finds his way up, is going to get in behind Thresh without a trade. So again, first blood to ASU. Is Thresh going to find another one?
Oh, I saw the arrows too. I thought the exact same thing, but nope, there's a shack in between them, a couple doors in the way, but Gravity will open up the bomb site, and he's able to get this bomb down now, or he should be able to get that bomb down, you would think.
Eons.
But watch Eons in the back.
Eons. That's a free one. Gravity, his arm. Oh, I thought it was going to be showing kick at the trade through the wall. A 2v2, though, for the retake. ASU, they weren't able to do it. Can SEU do what they couldn't? The nade could be cooked. Spots Affectini on the corner. Eons finds his way in. Shots to be there, not expecting the attic. Gravity makes it a 1v2. Eons, can he clutch up for his team right on out there? And ASU are walking to the winners finals with a big 2v2 win at the end there. 6-4 on Bocage. They shut down the reverse sweep and they close out the series.
Yeah, what a series there between these two teams, but I just have to say, man, ASU's Search and Destroy right now just seems like it is on another level at the moment, especially going up against the likes of SEU. I mean, just the way that they were able to consistently kind of influence where they wanted that bomb to go, find those opening bloods, get the bomb down pretty easily. But it was the post-plant setups for me for ASU that were really, really what shined for me through both series. I mean, you saw in that first Search and Destroy on Demyance, once they got that bomb down, it was the first time they played in towards the back of the river. Just being able to watch from that very far lane, being able to, I have never even seen that angle. So the fact that we saw that come through, beautiful stuff from them there. And then on Bocage, I mean, they lost the round after getting the glide bomb, but just the way they set up, they did everything right to win the round. They just unfortunately lost the gunfights, but nonetheless, they win the game and they advance to our winners finals.
I mean, Jesse, we're here to learn after all. We're learning from the top teams right now in the CCL. ASU Maroon, they move to the winners final. For SEU, it's not the end of the road for them. They will be dropping down into the losers bracket to start the run through the gauntlet on elimination now. It was a great Series 1 to start this one off, but we are going to be hopping to a break. Get ready for match number 2. It's going to be coming up next. Stay tuned for some more CCL Vanguard Open.